most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Howdy, folks. I'm Bob Short, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
We are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, Brad, we're going to talk about how to stop back discs from bulging or herniated.
Oh.
Plus, we're doing a giveaway that ties in with this.
Oh.
That's what's really cool about this. By the way, if you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, yes, join us on our website, bobandbrad.com, and go to the giveaway section because we are giving away the Flexispot
nice
desk
unit.
riser. This is really a cool one. It's really very fashionable, I would say.
It is.
And it's it's electric, which is kind of cool too. And it's very silent. Do you even hear that?
Oh yeah, it works nice. It's definitely commercial grade. There's nothing wrong with the quality on this. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is the EM6S, and it's by Flexispot. We'll have a link down below if you want to purchase one. But again, if you want to go ahead and do the giveaway, go ahead and Bob and Brad. Also, if you want to have a short version of us, Instagram or Twitter, we do a 60-second version of our videos.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. But they go on the Facebook too.
Yeah, then go on to the Facebook and you can find it pinned to the top of the page. We'll have the giveaway there.
There you go. So
right.
Bob, let's talk about disc herniation, bulging discs, all those things that we don't want to hear of, we don't want to have people have.
People don't want to have in their lives.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Now, one of the main reasons that a lot of times people start to get a bulging disc or herniated disc is that they put their spine in what we call the C position, especially if you sit in that position for a long time, because in that position, Brad's going to be in that position.
Oh.
And he's going to demonstrate in just a minute on a model how this works. When your disc in your back is like in this position, the actual center of the disc, the nucleus pulposus, can migrate towards the back and cause a bulge.
Right in the eye, Bob.
Did I?
Almost.
It'd been good theater if I would have got you. So, and that's pushed against the annulus fibrosis. I'm trying to impress people with my anatomy knowledge.
You're doing good.
So you're going to show Brad how, if we took two of the discs or two of the vertebrae out of here, how that can cause a disc bulge.
So sitting's very common, but poor body mechanics with lifting heavy loads with poor body mechanics. But most people aren't aware that sitting does such a
even standing, leaning against brushing your teeth or something like that.
Okay, so let's look at let's say we're going to look at L5 and L4, these two vertebrae here, and we're going to look at this disc because that's a very common disc that does herniate or rupture. So if we pull those two out and we're going to have the model, this is one vertebra, L5, here's L4, and we have a nice green ball that makes a model for the disc. Because discs do have, like Bob mentioned, there's like a gel substance in the middle, and then there's a
tougher outer lining.
Right.
So,
and when you bend forward, this happens if everything is healthy and backwards.
Yeah, and you can do that for years.
Right.
There's no problems.
All these mechanics happen all the time in your back and in your spine. But however, if you sit like this too long, bend, lean, have poor body mechanics, poor posture, the disc wall can loosen up, and there you go. A very nice model of a herniated or bulging disc, which the biggest problem is there happens to be your spinal cord or your peripheral nerves at that location.
Spinal nerves are coming out, and you can press against that spinal nerve, and that'll send that pain down your leg, called sciatica.
Right.
So
what we need to do is change your posture, give you some exercises to allow that to get back in where it belongs, let it heal over, and get back to normal life.
So one of the things you can do, actually, that's quite simple, is to get a standing desk.
Yep.
I did this in my life. And I mentioned actually just on a video a couple nights ago is that when I used to sit, I'd try really hard and I'd keep good posture for a while.
Sure.
And then after a while, you start getting tired and you start concentrating on your computer, and eventually you get into that flex position. My wife would walk by my room and she'd say, "Robert, you got poor posture," and it just would bother me because, you just don't want to be told that by your wife.
Right, especially when you're a physical therapist.
Yeah, when you're a physical therapist.
You're preaching,
And I'm preaching to her all the time. You got it exactly, Brad. You know where I'm at.
That's coming back at you.
You know where I live. So I did get a standing desk, and now she comes by, and I'm in good posture, so she has nothing to say about that. But
Right.
there's plenty of other things.
And actually, this weekend I was visiting with two of my friends. They're both teachers, high school teachers, and they were talking about sitting, back pain, neck pain, and they were talking about. I said these, and they said yeah. So they're considering seeing if they can
Oh, it
figure
can
out.
make a big difference. I
Yeah,
used to get all this upper back, neck pain
yeah,
when I was sitting there, and
yeah,
I don't get any of that
yeah.
now. And this one, by the way, holds 33 pounds up here, 22 pounds down here, I believe. So it has pretty good weight. And again, Flexispot, I always think they make really good high quality stuff for their price. So
Yep.
what are you doing? Is it not working? There we go.
Oh, I was on the wrong side.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number two. The second thing you can do is you can actually reverse the process. Mike,
Mike,
get to work. This is
Master Mike.
this is the best world of Mike because Mike can come in and Mike can say stuff and we can't hear anything he says because he's not doesn't have a mic on. So when you actually bend forward like that, and after a while the disc can actually bulge out, you can work to reverse that
Right.
process by doing press ups. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So and this is a McKenzie technique, McKenzie. And you go ahead and put your hands underneath the shoulders and you're going to press up like this. I'm keeping the pelvis against the mat. It's not coming up like
Right.
this. If
Right.
it comes up like this, I'm not really doing anything on the back. It's just going up like a board.
Right. You do a little core exercise, but we don't want that. We want to work with the disc.
Yeah, here we want to try to push that disc right back in. Now, if you have a disc problem, you may want to watch some of our videos on this because
Right.
there's a whole lot of different variations we can do with
Right.
this. But I'm just giving you the general principle here that you want to try to reverse it. You can also try it, eventually we have people try it in standing too.
Right. And actually, these exercises, if you have no back pain, they're good exercises to do to maintain a good, healthy back.
I do it every morning.
Bob does them all the
Did
time.
25 reps this morning.
Yep.
So
There are some people who can't do them. If you have stenosis or if you got spondylolisthesis like I do, I never do those because it doesn't work. But that's a small percentage of the people.
they do sometimes standing
Yep.
press backs would
Yep.
come. I don't call them press ups because you're not pressing up, you're pressing back, right?
Yeah, I just call them back extensions.
Back extensions. There we go.
That's
So
easy.
the final thing that you want to make sure you're trying in order to prevent that C posture is to try to restore that arch in your low back.
Sure.
Now you can do it with you can start off with a roll towel,
Right here.
or you can go ahead and buy a back support. I think I put all the other supports away, didn't I?
Well, we'll get the general idea here.
Yeah. So you can start off with a roll towel and put it in your low back like this, and that'll help, convince the back to be in the right position.
So that roll is going right at this part of the back, which if it's healthy and it's the way it should be, there should be a little arch. So that support is actually filling that in, and it typically feels very comfortable. If it doesn't, you probably have it in the wrong location.
Yeah, you want to mess around with it. Sometimes, I got a little bit lower because I like to get the sacrum too,
Yep.
and the low back, and that's where it's most comfortable for me. And if it's not comfortable, it's not in the right position.
Right.
Simple
Or
as
it's the
that.
wrong size. You can tell if it's too big, it's going to feel like a big bump there. And if it's too small, it's not enough. It's very clear once you work with it.
Right. So that's what's great about the towel. You can figure out kind of what size you're going to use, and then you can look online and find one that looks like equivalent.
Right.
There's
Oh,
What?
there's a myriad.
a myriad.
Yes.
Great word. Great word.
Yes.
Plethora.
Plethora.
There we go.
Yep.
So those are the three things you can do to try to help stop your back discs from bulging or herniated
Right.
and a serious problem. So you do really want to avoid it if you can.
Absolutely.
All right, Brad and I can fix just about anything.
Except for
A broken heart.
there it is.
But we're working on it.
And we'll never stop.